Hello MUS 2020 students. In this video I'm just going to go over some of my expectations for composition number 3 very quickly. This is the one where you have to completely create it in MuseScore first and then export the MIDI and take that into Ableton and create your piece out of it. So the first thing I'm going to show you is something we haven't talked about in MuseScore yet, which is deleting all these empty measures of rests. So I select the first full bar, hold down Shift and select the last one, and then it's Control and the Delete key. Not backspace, but actually delete, and that gets rid of all of those. So now I've got my parts. I need to have at least 3 different ones in MuseScore. I need a melody, which is violin 1, a harmony, which is violin 2, and a bass, which is the cello. With this, please don't go crazy and start using random instruments that you find in MuseScore and have no idea what they are. They might be transposing. So I would tend to stick with things like strings or piano or voices unless you really are adept at transposing things like saxophones or trumpet or horn in your head. If not, remember, you're just creating the score in MuseScore as MIDI, and then you can take it into Ableton and use whatever instrument you want. All 3 parts must play continuously, no long rests or pauses. Well, I've got a rest here, but after that they're all pretty much continuous, so that's good. Then I need to have a total of 2 minutes. How do I check that in MuseScore? Well, there is the View menu. If we go to View, we have a Play panel. So there's 2 ways that you can view things. You can either play the score out with a stopwatch and hope that you're 100% accurate, or I can just go to the very last measure, hit play. I just have to select any note or the measure itself, and it tells me that my score is 18 seconds long. So this is hours, minutes, seconds, and this is the measure position. So measure 9, very end. Obviously this is too short, but this is just a demo to show you what I expect. Next, I would need to export this as MIDI. Well, that's pretty easy. File, export, and I'm going to go to my desktop and my Oakland folder. And we'll call this project number 11. Or, yeah, there we go. Okay, now that I'm in Ableton, what I need to do is to import the MIDI file that I created in the last step. Well, this is really easy. I can actually just do a drag and drop, just like so. Boom. And do I want to insert the tempo? Yes, I do. Although it's already 120 and 4/4, so whatever. But that has converted one of my audio tracks to MIDI, so I can rename those. This is going to be melody. That will be harmony, and maybe not with a U, and bass, because I am all about that bass with a capital B. Yes. Alright, now I need to give it some instruments. Let's take a look at what we've got. Because right now, if I hit play, I got nothing. It is just MIDI data. I need to have different sounds in Ableton. So I'm going to go and let's find the bass first. Ooh, I like that analog. That's my first bass. Cool. Next, let's find something for the harmony. Yeah, not feeling that. Okay, I kind of like the clarinet. Let's try close enough, and then we're going to turn the volume down a tad because that's going to be loud. And then for my melody, Yeah, let's go with a synth lead. Not that one. Okay, let's hear that. Okay, so that's in there, and I can double things. I could create more MIDI tracks and have a different synth lead. Let's try that one. This will be melody 2. Harmony 2. Bass 2. Let's find something a little bit more mellow for harmony 2. How about violin section? Maybe viola solo. I like that better. All right. And then I need, what do I want? I need a bass, but which one? That's what we're looking for. All right. So now I'm going to select all of those, duplicate them, and drag them down. So I've got one section of just the originals and then one of the new. Okay, and you can see I'm already going around with panning and playing around to put everything on opposite sides. So melody 1 is on the left, melody 2 is on the right, harmony 2 and bass 2 are slightly to the left, and then, 1 are slightly to the left and 2 are slightly to the right. Then I would probably want to play around with reverb a little bit. The more reverb I apply, the further back in the ensemble mix something will sound. So I'm going to really send the harmony and the bass all the way to the back, but not so much the melody. And if I'm ever feeling like, say, the bass is getting a little too pushed out, I could grab something like Demon right there, copy the bass part to that. And then maybe automate it a little bit, or if I really wanted to make it pop and I had a subwoofer, I could go to that clip and select everything and take it down 12 steps. It starts on C2, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we are at C1. This is going to be low. Yeah, you can hear that low super rumble. That is awesome. I would probably only want to do this if I was sure that the person listening to it had a really, really, really good subwoofer, which Yeah, I do, but you might not. So that's what I'm doing. I am coming through in Ableton and I'm creating a realization of the score that I created in MuseScore. Again, you can double anything up until you run out of tracks. So you could have 7 copies of the melody if you really wanted, 2 harmony and 1 bass, all with different instruments. Then the other thing I would probably want to do, just to make everything a little bit smoother, is to automate it. By itself, the MIDI is not giving me any audio data, so everything feels a little stale and just kind of the same volume. So I would want to go through and record some automation to make sure that it rises and falls a little bit more naturally, that everything breathes like a real instrumental ensemble would. The panning, you can automate that as well, or what I would kind of recommend doing with the panning is really not play a whole lot of it, just kind of set it up as an instrumental ensemble and leave the panning there. So think of how you would want this to look on stage and then pan accordingly. But that's just about it. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email or post in the forums. And good luck.